Hi, I'm Kane Hodder. You're watching The Horror Show.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie One Slaughter.
Keeping your mouth shut. We're here to do a Patreon requested review. Everyone's dying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Patreon requested review. This one is requested from the artist formerly known as Mikey Tromatrash, now known as Mikey Mnemonic.
Yeah, shout out Deadstuff podcast.
So this
Dead
one
Planet.
is Mimic.
Yeah.
Now, this is a movie that I saw when it came out. I'm sure Fuego saw when it came out.
In
Susie
theaters.
had not seen, right?
We saw it in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's mid-90s, and it's one of Guillermo Del Toro's.
Movie.
It was a creature movie and one of Guillermo Del Toro's earliest outings. You know,
His first American movie.
Yeah. So this is something that holds a place near and dear to my heart, having
Of course.
loved where Guillermo has ended up. You know, and still continues to grow, quite frankly.
Oscar winner.
But this movie I really enjoyed. I just to give our overall thoughts as we normally do at the beginning here, I loved Mimic. It actually, believe it or not, while there are some character decisions that are iffy, the movie I think still holds up. I still think it's a good romp. The CG doesn't hold up quite as well as you might hope, but it's from the mid-90s. What are you going to do?
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s. Or is it late 90s? Is it mid or late? Let's find out.
I want to say it was 97 or 98.
I was thinking 97, 96, 97. So, Susie, your thoughts?
I in 97, 98.
I was like 4.
98 is my guess.
I was
97.
4 years old.
How?
Okay, 97, yeah.
97, yeah.
Let's see. I was.
This is 1 year after Independence Day.
Oh wait. So I was 9.
Get the fuck out. All right, so
I was in 7th grade.
so Fuego, your overall thoughts then?
My overall thoughts is I have adored creature movies since I was a little guy, and I actually thought that upon the rewatch, I had actually forgotten the reason for the creation of these creatures and all the sick kids at the beginning and stuff, and just how it really pulls on the heartstrings and really shows that while meddling is a bad thing with science and cross-splicing of creatures and things like that, it's like the intentions were noble and they succeeded. They just unleashed beasts that they could never have really comprehended anything about, and that kill early on, not where the guy gets dragged down into the drains and all that stuff. The early on kill involving characters you don't expect to see die on screen very often, especially after like a little heartwarming interaction that goes on with their characters and Mira Sorvino's. It still holds up brutally, and I love it. It's so good. And you got Charles S. Dutton. He's great in this, man. And I had forgotten Josh Brolin was in this movie.
Yeah, Josh Brolin, somewhere
snarky
between his Goonies version of himself and his later old boy version of himself. Yeah, like this
so
is right in
young
between.
And when he's popping his quips when they find that scene and there's just like the turd on the ceiling and stuff, and he's like, you don't see that every day. You know? Like I thought he was great in this, and Mira Sorvino shines. I think performances are really good. There's not as many memorable kills in my opinion in this, aside from the one that I was just referencing, but the tension is really there, especially in the trapped cat and mouse thing that we get later in the film once they go into the sewers and train system and whatnot. So I don't know. I still really hold up this movie. The only thing that was a bummer, since I hadn't watched it in so many years, I watched the director's cut, adds a few minutes of footage. I couldn't remember like the original bits, and it wasn't like there's denotions where hey, this is the new bits and whatnot. So yeah, I still liked it a lot, and hey, it holds a very special place in my heart. For stuff like this, and The Relic was what got me through the late 90s for my creature fix, when I wasn't really allowed to rent stuff like this as much unless I saw it at a friend's house, because 7th grade, I had to go to Ricketts' house for that. So there you go.
Now, Susie, did you give your opinion, or did I block it out already?
Completely blocked it out.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Moving on.
I can't stand the fact that you didn't like it. So
I didn't like it. I'm sorry. And I'm
so
not
the
just,
story.
I'm just
What
not
were
a
you
creature.
not a fan of? Yeah,
I'm just not a creature person.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
that's
fair.
it. So I'm not
That's fair.
saying not go see it. If you are a creature fan, I'm sure you will love this movie. I am not, and I just couldn't Didn't do it.
And this is about roaches, not flies, but close enough.
Yeah.
Well, and they crossbred them with what, termites, I think it was, or something.
Yeah,
the
similar
Judas
to-
creatures.
Like, how do
Yeah.
you not know?
And that was where the CG really stuck
That-
out when they were releasing them and things.
Something wasn't gonna go wrong.
Well,
So
so
all the
basically,
top-
they're
Okay,
essentially
let's tell the setup at least.
The setup that Fuego kind of hinted at earlier is it almost actually felt like a very Guillermo Del Toro setup because it felt similar to The Strain setup,
which I haven't
a
watched,
city-based
unfortunately,
invasion going on of a dark creature type. It's just vampires instead of giant roaches. But so there's some kind of disease going around and it's killing kids. And it's all stemming from this roach population underneath the city. And so Mira Sorvino. I always got those two.
Yeah.
Mina Suvari is the alien one with the huge forehead.
From American
Yeah. So Mira Sorvino, half of Romy and Michelle, basically plays a scientist that discovers this, or that genetically engineers this bug that goes into decimate the roach population, and they succeed. And this bug is supposed to die out after like 9 months or something like that. So they actually succeed. They destroy the roach population. The disease kind of goes away, and we flash forward 3 years, and apparently this bug that they've created has not only not died out, but it's proliferated and grown, and now there are giant human-sized roach creatures.
They have evolved.
Judas creatures. They're like roach termite splices, like Fuego was
and almost
saying.
like mixed with a wasp too, with the
Right.
fact that they have like these huge-looking wings and stuff.
2 sets of
and-
wings,
Yeah.
even, yeah. So they're giant, and like if you're a person that doesn't like bugs or insects, this is the
They're
movie
gotcha
that's
movie.
going to creep you the F out.
Make you squirm, yo.
Yeah, absolutely. As it did back in the day for me, because I hate roaches, I hate bugs in all shapes and sizes. So
And there are a lot of practical bugs early on
Yeah.
before we shift into the overgrown creature stuff. And I actually think the as far as writing goes, the science is pretty sound in this. And that, dude, I even love the intro with well, I guess we'll get to that in effects and whatnot.
Just shut up, Jaime.
Okay. Yeah, and it does really turn into your typical creature cat and mouse kind of thing in the back half, which is where I actually feel like the movie does lose some steam in the end, unfortunately, with,
Little bit.
with some pacing issues and whatnot.
So that's
Did
the other
I-
thing too. I just watched this
right.
again, so keep that in mind. I just watched this, and you guys watched it when it first came
No,
out.
Well, I just
watched
rewatched
the
it
other
too.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
rewatched
you
it.
want,
the other
but
day.
your love for that, you know, again, like we were talking about with the other movie we were reviewing, the Wolf Creek. It was like, it's like so formulated, like,
I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? I'm not saying don't see it.
I think the nostalgia connection does play a
Play a
factor.
factor,
Right.
sure,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and I think Mira Sorvino is so big.
But you didn't
in
think it
this,
was
too.
creepy seeing giant insects like disguising themselves as men,
I
like
love the
attacking people?
design.
That didn't
I
get to
have
you at
4
all?
kids. Are you kidding?
Okay. I mean,
I
alright.
see fucked up shit
So
on the
insects
daily.
don't bother Susie. If insects bother you, there'd be a way different story, I think. So the acting, though. Let's talk briefly about the acting. Mira Sorvino is great. Charles S. Dutton is great, who was on Rock. If you guys don't know who we're talking about, that sitcom that was on for a few years.
He's in Alien 3.
Alien 3, as well as
Yeah,
the...
which came out
the-
around the same. And he's playing a similarly hard-nosed character in this.
Yep.
But I dig him in that role.
Yep,
you know,
and
so-
Josh Brolin, like you said, like
Best
you
thing
mentioned.
about this movie.
Really, Josh Brolin?
Yep.
He's great.
Okay.
He's great in it.
And yeah,
Love
so
you,
the
Josh
acting, I
Brolin.
thought the kid was okay. The kid's father was okay.
Click, click,
There was
click,
no one that was
spoons.
bad.
That was, I will say,
The opening scene.
one thing
Mm-hmm.
that did kind of get me. When I thought the kid, they took the kid, I was like,
Always
but
good,
then,
Kid's okay. They're friends.
okay, kid's okay, and
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that part, okay. That part was a little unnerving, just
Okay.
because I have kids.
Okay.
I don't want them befriending big old fucking giant
Giant insects, okay.
Yeah, no.
And I love the foreshadowing early on that Mira Sorvino gives to the 2 kids, where she's talking. What was it? Was it ants or termites? Where she's talking about how they drag their prey down below,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the layer area and everything, and then the kids are like,
Okay,
and
that
they ate
one.
them. The kid with those buck teeth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those
That's
kids
right.
annoyed me, honestly. Their performance.
They got theirs, Fuego. Don't worry.
Right?
Well,
Spoilies.
so I mean, yeah, spoilers on a 20-plus-year-old movie. Well,
it's my favorite scene in the entire.
the effects, though,
It's
again,
damn
the practical effects that we got, the egg sacs, the up close bits of the creature that
Those
we
were
got,
good.
All of
But
that stuff is
it was
really
good.
gross and unnerving and like, I don't like it. The CG is where it starts to fall apart quite a bit because, again, it's 21-year-old CG. The 22-year-old CG at
And
this
it was
point.
when they were more in like the insect type form compared to when they were like doing the whole trench coat kind of look.
Yeah,
I think
that
was
they
where it
could
was
pull
primarily
off.
Practical
Practical,
and looked
right.
really awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was where they were going for the real quick movements where you could see the wings like extended and everything.
I like the carapace that made it look like a face.
Okay,
Like
that,
I was
yeah,
gonna
how
say,
it was like
if you
kind of
think
grooved
about
back
it,
together.
That
yeah.
evolution with what, only 3 years?
Mhm.
That's
Well, they had
startling.
accelerated
That's pretty
growth.
crazy.
Yeah, they had
you know, because
accelerated
they
growth.
needed them
That
to
was
be
part
big
of the-
so they
Yeah,
could kill the...
but to that extent, like
Yeah,
a
Meddling
person,
with
and then like
science.
disguising, and like that is unnerving.
yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
survival instinct. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. But it's crazy. Like 3 years. Yes, that is unsettling.
Now, I
But-
will say that this movie did feel very Guillermo Del Toro-y. I mean,
Especially
it's...
visually.
Yeah, I mean, it does have that sort of advanced Guillermo feel. He's developed his own sort of style at this point, and that and
He's
Hellboy
already-
and things like that.
Well, he'd
where
already done before this, what, Devil's Backbone, and then...
didn't he produce The Orphanage, something like that?
That came
Did he?
after this, yeah.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah, he produced The Orphanage, but yeah, you're right. Between stuff
But
like...
still, in true Guillermo del Toro fashion.
Yeah, I mean, it had his style sort
Well,
of dripping off of
And
it.
it got him the Blade sequel job, the success of this movie, you know, where he continued to hone his style. But also, that's another movie where when the digital comes in, it does not look anywhere near as good as when you've got the practical makeup and the designs and
Well,
everything.
yeah, you got to think though. For the time, it was a good movie for what it was. I'm just not a creature person, so
Fair enough.
I like the open credits where they're showing all the different bugs, and it felt like something out of American Horror Story or like, I don't know, some other strange show, and you hear the voiceovers about all the kids getting sick and everything. And I don't know, this one still holds up for me pretty good, but it's not without its blemishes, I guess.
it's blemishes. You're adorable.
So, yeah, I mean, why don't we go ahead and call the review there? I think that's enough. If you guys haven't seen Mimic yet, it's worth your time, even if you're in Susie's camp where you might be like, it's still at least worth watching once. don't
I
you
mean,
think?
it's good for what it is and for the time and everything. I'm just not a big creature person, and I got 4 kids. A lot doesn't scare me these days.
Fair enough.
It still feels to me like a theatrical creature movie because the acting is better. It does not feel low budget or cheap.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't
is
have
not.
hammy, stupid acting in it. Everybody is pretty on point.
Yeah.
Even the kind of annoying boyfriend of Servino's or fiance or whatever the hell he
He's
is.
just jealous.
Yeah, honestly, I am.
So we'll call it
Susie
there.
knows me so well.
I do.
So thank you guys very much for watching, and thank you to Mikey for requesting this for our Patreon.
dude.
If you guys aren't a patron yet, please feel free to click the link in the description box to join up and support the channel, and you can select movies for us to review just like this one. Until next time, though, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Cecil Von Slaughter.
Gracias, I've been Jaime. Fuego!
And remember, stay scared!
Birdsies.
Fuck it, Jaime.